We have roughly now about 3,500 visits per month. During the pandemic, it was 6,500 families per month. That's a lot of visits. It's a 100% volunteer agency. We distribute about 3.5 million pounds per year.
And because the need is so great, Flagler Broadcasting, in conjunction with Grace Community Food Pantry, have launched the $1 Million Foodathon. Charles Solano, the pastor who runs one of the largest food pantries in the state, says they aim to raise money to purchase healthy, fresh foods for local families in need.
So what we do is we purchase products at 18 cents a pound, and sometimes I get better deals than that. But really, I can't do it without rebuilding and keeping up with the infrastructure that actually enables us to distribute this food. So when we're talking about raising $1 million, it's really about $200,000. Some of that will go to infrastructure, for instance, greater storage capabilities, because it's about getting it and keeping it and being able to distribute it.
Palm Coast Mayor David Alfin called this hunger initiative much needed.
This is also an economic moment of great distress for so many of our friends and neighbors right here in Palm Coast. I believe that we as a city need a thing that we can all rally around, that we can all support, that we can all get behind. We will be successful with this, and know that we have done a wonderful thing.
Vice Mayor Eddie Branchino was the first to donate to the $1 Million Foodathon campaign.
You mentioned that you buy the food about 18 cents a pound. I would like to pledge here right now over 1,000 pounds by giving you $100 in my name and $100 on my
thank you so much, sir.
The $1 Million Foodathon will guarantee every local family in need a $100 box of food weekly for 1 month, so that families don't have to choose between paying their electric bill or putting food on the table. Local businesses that want to contribute to this campaign that runs through July 8th can send an email to foodathon@flaglerradio.com. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. The unofficial start to summer brings a spike in domestic violence cases in Flagler County.
The FCSO has responded to 11 domestic violence incidents in 5 days, plus multiple offenders facing felony charges, according to Sheriff Rick Staley.
I want to remind the community that domestic violence is never acceptable, and we will do everything we can to reduce the number of domestic violence cases.
Sheriff Staley adds the FCSO has a team of victims advocates and community partners to aid those who are victims of trauma, crimes, and domestic violence.
Family Life Center is here to help if you're in an abusive relationship and would like to escape it, which we encourage you to do before something serious happens.
The Domestic Violence Summit is taking place tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn Town Center, located at 55 Town Center Boulevard in Palm Coast. That is free and open to the public. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
A proposed housing development in Flagler Beach takes a critical step forward.
The Flagler County Commission approved construction at Veranda Bay, the development plan for the two sides of John Anderson Highway. But the approval was not without some resistance. Commissioner Andy Dance expressed concerns over what would happen if the project's financing fell through. Attorney Michael Sciamento, who represents the developer, says that's been addressed.
The statute and your land development code, which tracks the statute, allows for a final plat to be recorded before the infrastructure is finalized. And as long as we do that, there is what's called a surety bond that guarantees that that infrastructure is in place by the time they go and sell the property. So, Mr. Dance, what your question was is, in the event that something were to happen, there's a surety bond there that the insurance company would step in and fund the construction consistent with this final plat.
Commissioner Greg Hansen doesn't think the developer addressed flooding concerns.
I've seen other developments, and the water goes where water goes, and it's kind of downhill, and downhill goes right to Palm Avenue, or Palm Drive. So that bothers me, and I think there needs to be some way in this whole negotiation that we can hold this development's feet to the fire on drainage, because I don't see it.
The commissioners voted unanimously to approve construction. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
The Florida Agricultural Museum in Flagler County won't be getting the millions in state funding it had planned to use for an expansion. The museum's $6.5 million was vetoed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Republican State Rep Paul Renner's district includes Flagler County.
These are in large part local projects, and you are, by definition, asking all state taxpayers to pay, including Flagler taxpayers, for example, to pay for something in Miami or Naples or Jacksonville or the Panhandle that they may have no interest in or not see any value in. It's valuable to the people in that community. And so it's always a balance.
Projects in Flagler County that did see funding include a septic to sewer conversion that will help the Intracoastal Waterway and an expansion of Commerce Parkway in Bunnell.
That would be something that government's supposed to do, roads and bridges, and make sure we have adequate water supply and our water quality is good and things of that nature that are so expensive when you break it out. And if you're true to principles, and the governor is, you look and say this is not conservative spending.
From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
Should we be worried about monkeypox?
Flagler County Medical Director Dr. Stephen Bickles says probably not.
I can say unequivocally, monkeypox is not going to be a population threat. There's just no reason to think so. First of all, there's no evidence that it's doing this anywhere else. Secondly, it just doesn't have the features that lend itself to spreading.
Dr. Bickles said that monkeypox takes close contact and it's just not that contagious. Flagler Health Matters is on WNZF on Saturday mornings at 11:30, or it's on the Flagler radio app anytime you want to listen. Tomorrow, women, infants, and children. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.